part of, you know, authoritarianism is there is no truth. It's not that they're selling you a fake truth. It's that they're trying to discombobulate you so you don't know what's up and what's down. I mean, everybody needs to remember that while all this is going on, and they attack China, they hate China, blah, blah, blah. You've got Donald Trump, who all his products were made in China, still are. He had a bank account there, which we didn't know about. We found out after his presidency. Yep. You know, numerous times he's congratulated them about how strong they are and tough they are. And remember also that everybody is bringing up one key aspect about Tulsi Gabbard, which is obviously, you know, she's a puppet and Putin puts his hand behind the back of her head and has her talk. But she also is a puppet of China. If you go back and you look at some of the things she said, she came out against Japan rearming themselves as a threat to China. And I mean, she was reflexively defending. So even if this guy is saying one thing, this guy Carr, whether the hell he means it or not, and he may, for all I know, but it doesn't, you know, it may be the only good thing. It doesn't matter because, and I don't think Tulsi's going to end up getting approved. But the point is that this government, just the way they caught one or two Chinese spies at Mar-a-Lago, this government is filled, or I should say, this movement, MAGA, is filled with people who quietly are either profiting or somehow are benefiting from the fact that of what China does and are pro-China, because they are pro-authoritarian. So everybody needs to keep in mind that they're going to be trying to trick you from 6 different angles. But this guy Carr, I mean, well, just the way you pointed out with Elon, who needs China and you know and has Trump's ear. Like, they say one thing out of one side of their mouths, but just watch what they do. Because I don't think Carr, they may pretend they're doing things to hurt China, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Here's the problem. I think from reading what he wrote in Project 2025 and the fact that they put that in there, those people are true believers. They are, you could tell by how they're talking about it. But the problem, what's going to happen is they're going to be fighting with, not us, but the other members of Trump's cabinet that are secretly towing the line. And they're going to get real fucking suspicious, real fucking fast, why they're getting slow-walked information by the DNI or whatever, you know, member of the White House staff that's supposed to get them information about the threat from China or the threat from Russia or the threat from North Korea, because those guys are all...
That's how we win, Hal.
Yes.
That's how we, because you find those natural fault lines. There's the theocrats, and then there's the tech oligarch bros.
And at some point they have to pay the piper.
Project. I'm sorry?
Some point they have to pay the piper. You can't talk that talk without walking the walk, at least for your followers at some point. It's why, you know, it's why Jim Jones had to die with everybody else. It's why the eventually your followers are going to be standing around with a cup of Kool-Aid going after you.
Right. I mean, and right now the theocrats are happy because they finally, after 40 years of not trying as hard as they pretended, got rid of abortion. But and it's probably something to do with Trump not getting the game that other smarter Republicans got, which is we want to use this issue forever. So we're going to make sure, oh, darn, I put Souter on the court. I thought he was going to overturn abortion. Yeah, it turns out he's not going to do that. But the theocrats are happy about all that stuff. But again, the tech Broligarch guys are guys that believe in basically, you know, white tech guy supremacy. And Peter Thiel's big project is to live forever by creating cybernetics and using our government doing experiments and God knows what else to do it. That's not very Christian or godlike to want to outwit God and live forever. I mean, there are just these natural fault lines where even the fascists are going to fight amongst themselves. And we need to exploit, you know, John Thune being put where he was put showed what I've been saying for a while, which is that the biggest institutional power that's left against Trump is Mitch McConnell. Like him or hate him, and I absolutely hate him. But he, you know, with dirty money, dirty corporate money, he got so many of these senators elected that they owe him. And so enough of them, when you close the door, didn't go for Rick Scott, who the MAGA people wanted. They went for John Thune, who is Mitch McConnell's lieutenant. And those two groups are going to fight it out too. So you just have to try to exploit these fault lines wherever you can.
Well, and again, they set the terms of the fight, because again, if you're talking about in such bigoted terms, such broad brushes, Trump ran as Santa Claus this time. Like, by the time he was ready to seal the deal in all these places, he was like, we're going to have a golden era and the biggest, beautiful everything. Like, everyone's going to be happy. No one's going to be mad except the libs who, you know, are fat and happy anyways. Like, it was like he just did not give a f. He was like, politicians lie, so instead of worrying about lying on the margins, why not just go, you want to see a big lie? Check this shit. Like, hold my Diet Coke, right?
And Elon was doing that right alongside him, right? Like, if you're in Dearborn and you're Muslim, you're getting these ads about, don't let the Jews control you, vote against Kamala Harris because her Jew husband. And then if you're Jewish and in Philadelphia, you're getting the ads of, don't let those damn Muslims, those terrorists, threaten Israel anymore.
My mom has this had a woman in her neighborhood that they all go for a walk together. They're old ladies that go for a walk together, and she was saying she asked her niece. Her niece voted for Harris, and her niece brought up that the last time she was over at the house with her cousins, they asked, she said she voted for Harris, and they literally said, why are you going to do that? She wants to get rid of Christmas. And they literally mean that because she's Hindu and he's Jewish.
And he's Jewish, and I'm sure those ads were making their way around. I mean, again, there's nothing they didn't lie about. There's no fault line they didn't try to exploit, which is, by the way, again, why we still win often, because we're right on all the issues, and we've got some terrific communicators and all that, and we've got more Democrats fighting now, but we still lose because we should never be the scum that they are. But from some of their tactics, we should learn, because we're not willing to do some of the things that they're willing to do, because we feel like, oh, well, that's not in the spirit of democracy. And I mean, that's not who we're dealing with anymore. Which is, again, why, again, for anybody listening right now, I'm just going to say this in terms of pressuring them. Do you think there'd be a question if the shoe were on the other foot and there was an investigation into a Democrat like Matt Gaetz and it had been spiked because he resigned 2 days ahead of time? And those who are on the ethics committee on the other party, Republicans, could get up and read that on the floor. Do you think there's any way in hell they wouldn't do it? And the fact that we're even having this conversation now about whether Democrats will do it, everybody needs to reach out to Democrats on the ethics committee and say, you better effing do it. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, this should not be a conversation. This is a way to show who they all are. That Trump was comfortable picking this guy, that a lot of them are comfortable supporting this guy, whether he makes it or not. If even 50% of their caucus is willing to support him, then it's showing who they are. That, if they need to get up and read the goddamn report. I'm so tired of well, that wouldn't be right. And, collegiality and tradition. And no, that, honestly. Get up and do your jobs, which is fight fascism.
The whole purpose.
And this is one of the ways you do it.
Yeah.